So we're in Tobigo now and look at the line. I think it's going to the bank. It's offline. Maybe this is the station. What's this line for? Gasoline?
Well, they're not going to be queuing in their cars for the bank though.
Yeah, it's gasoline.
Have a look and see if the bank is open.
The bank is closed. Yeah. No, it's not damaged, but it's closed. There's no guard, so it means there's still, look at the queue. Tricycle, cars. There's only one open. Same with the Taliban scenario, you know. And even the problem also here is water. Look at that. Look at the numbers. The motorcycle. The funny thing is some of these motorcycles and cars, they brought some gallons also to buy for their generators. You know. So police is over there to make sure that everything is okay. Isn't it, maybe the police is also looking for gas, right? Yeah, so other than that, look at that nice house over there. Nice roof. Not been damaged. As long as it's been built nicer, right? Stronger. It's okay. That's the thing.
It looks like they've been pushed to one side though, and some of these posts are new. I think they've been dropped off in preparation in advance for replacing those posts.
Yeah. School over there. You know, that's one of the school that one of our students are been attending. You know, so we have a students in nursing that we are supported. So that's her school, and it's broke, but it's online class. You know, so this is also our LBC, and it's broke down. Look at that, just been newly built, but it's so as you see, a big bank of wire. That's electric company over there. So we started on the war zone area. War zone on the Typhoon. We're going back to our town.
just, it seems like just the other side of, far side of Tubingon from Taliban. Just the far side started to show damage. Now into Tubingon. Didn't see too much damage in Tubingon. But then as we got to the other side, closer to Taliban, which is where we're heading, of course, then there's a marked difference. All of these all of the power cables and posts were down, and lots of roof damage, which is what we've had at home. And some of these gas stations that have been damaged just closed. You have to assume that they must have damage which often can't be seen, because some of them don't look badly damaged, and yet they're closed for business.
I think you're right.
We really need to have the gas stations open, because it saves on traffic congestion. Those lines, it really does help to have yet another gas station operating. What were you saying?
I think you're right. Some of these electric poles has already been pushed on the side.
Yeah.
Because it's not as clear as before when we go to Tagbilaran.
Yeah, they're new posts. They're not fallen.
That's the
They're
second
not
day.
fallen posts. They're new.
That's the second. We went to Tagbilaran the second day. The second day after the typhoon. It's like trees.
It's gradually spreading and getting closer to Taliban, which is
Whoever you are on that ambulance, Lord, extend more life. Oh, it's not easy to lose someone. Yan, so Vivian and Alvin's house over there is over there. Oh my God, slow down please. There's another gasoline station over there.
but it is open.
Yeah, it's open. Where's that down there? It's a big house. So this is the shortcut. Usually we wait in this area to go to Tagbilaran, but we didn't use this area because it's very small. And there are some trees that falling. It's quite difficult, so we do the long trek.
Mountains. But there's a very unstable hillside there, and when you go through, they've been working for years doing extensive work on retaining walls there. So we didn't go that road, even though we would have preferred it because there's less traffic. But we didn't think that there could be any. We didn't think there could be any priority placed on that because of the fact that there's not too much traffic. Still having trouble with these fallen coconuts, which they've cut them off, but not far enough away from the road, in my opinion, and then easy to judge. There's a truck that has been damaged by a fallen tree. People clearing at the side of the road there. This is what's dangerous. Some of our friends, Marisol, came back at night, very, very brave, because if you're coming back at night you can't see these cables. As you can see they're at the level halfway of the window, so you could easily miss that and come off.
Some army and police is here working.
So the army are sending out work crews to help clear this road. This road is actually the the national highway. So it's really important. These are arterial roads connecting the towns, connecting Tubigong with other towns and on to Atafi, and then turning in and going up to or down to, depending how you look at it. So you look at the lines of bottles. People are bringing their bottles and they're putting them in a line and they're stretching along the roads, much like the bikers and the motorists. I really think, based on our experience now, that sometime in the future, probably the not the near future, but the not too far distant future, we'll be looking at getting a tractor that we can drag a grader and do some of this clearance work ourselves. When you look at some of these houses, they look, at first glance, they can look as if they're intact, but then as you pass them and you can get a look around the other side, you'll see that they've lost half the roof. It only takes losing half the roof, which seems, if that half of the roof comes off, it seems to release the pressure, and then it's the rain that does the rest. Some of the comments that we have seen from people I respect too, and with the best of intentions, and they have suggested better techniques for fixing those roofing sheets. What we've observed is that, yes, in some cases that really would help, but then there are other cases where the entire substructure, all of the basic framework, which holds even with the metal, the force of the super, sorry, I'm focusing on driving as well, but the force of the super Typhoon has meant that it rips off entire structures with all of the sheeting intact, and it's taking the whole thing off, which of course isn't down to whether the roofing sheets are fixed properly or otherwise. You really have to be here to see the incredible destruction, and yet you will see, and I don't think it's down to how well a building has been built. There's something to do with pockets of shall we say pockets of peace in the Typhoon, that it will pass over a building. We went to check on Alfred, and we found we actually never got to see Alfred's house because we met him halfway along the way, and he was going to take, let's see if everybody else stops for these people. And they're not, look, they're on a crossing, nobody's stopping, and there's a truck parked on the crossing there. Oh well, they got across. But anyway, back to Alfred's house. We went and we found that they were on the way, Alfred and Marie, and they were on their way to get some food. They were short on food. But Alfred was very proud of the fact that his house had not suffered any damage at all. I think it might have been an odd little thing that was bent, but not really any damage at all. So they had a scary night, but other than that, they're fine. And they are, both of them are fine. Alfred lives in a kind of a sheltered area, which is evident when you think that he didn't suffer any any damage to his house. But if you look at that, there's a house there. Look at that building there with that really quite extensive. Can you do it? That's quite an extensive looking roof. And yet on this side, there's a whole roof that's been torn off. So my suggestion that sometimes there are little pockets of non-violence, whatever you want to call that, where the wind is not as strong, and so buildings can escape. I remember when I was in America, in California, parts of Malibu were under blaze. We could see that from the other side of the mountain over in San Fernando Valley, and we could see the fires raging. We could see the smoke. Catastrophic nature events, there's no knowing whether something will get through or not. See, look there, it's on the left hand side. It has completely destroyed every tree. There's hardly a tree left standing, and yet here you've got a signpost. Would you like a sip of it? And it's difficult to predict. First day and the second day, so now we are on the fourth day after the typhoon, so everybody's helping each other to stand up from this devastation. There's still I think we can safely say that that gas station
It's not
may not be
open. So I
Although the
think we are
pump's
in
been put
Inabanga
out.
now. Yeah, Inabanga. President Duterte came in this town the other day. The other days to check because Inabanga is one of the place that is totally also been damaged. And also Sara Duterte is also sending some food pack. And also I think Bongbong Marcos, who is running for president this coming election, he's also handing some help here. In fact, came here. Also, Vice President Leno Robredo came here to help. So everybody's helping. Yeah,
Pacquiao appealed to all of the politicians and suggested that they might be willing to put aside all thoughts of politics and work together, which we hope that they're doing.
There's some vegetable. Yeah, so we're still in Tagbilaran. We're on our way home, but before that, we're going to have breakfast. Imagine it's 12:43. And we just have breakfast because we've been in the line. Just have some burger. Then we're gonna hide on the way home. But as you've seen, water, we still have no electricity whole Bohol. So Tagbilaran, the good thing in Tagbilaran is there's unable to get online, because there's still signal, but it's on and off. And look at that, this is a gasoline shop. One of the gasoline shop, cars, motorcycle. It's being driving. To get gas. To get gasoline. And the damage here is not really as bad as the other parts of Bohol, like Talibon, Itafe, Inabanga, Buena Vista, Trinidad, Ubay, some more in Kandihay, in Dulman, Loon. So this area is the other side of the island, so which is not really badly affected.
And the chaos here is caused by people like us
Came
who
from
have come from other parts of
look
the
at the
world.
line of water. The line of water. The line of water. Stars
So
now.
other people from outside of Tagbilaran are all flooding into Tagbilaran because they've at least got the thing handled.
Yeah, signal,
And everybody's
generator.
got generators, and they've got a measure of internet. It's very sporadic. You can't rely on it, and sometimes it may be very, very slow. The other thing I've found is that the driving, as soon as things become really chaotic, see, look at this overtaking on the inside. That's
Oh my
a
God, oh my God.
motorcycle, I know. And the driving has become really aggressive. I mean, in Tagbilaran, I always thought that the motorcyclists were crazy anyway. Very, I don't know, very
Left.
reckless. Yes, I'm going. But now the car drivers, there's no letting in. I'll be very surprised. We're actually turning left now. I'll be very surprised if we don't have to bust our way through, which we did. No one is going to let you through. You have to resort to going halfway across the lane and then forcing your way in on the second half. So we'll see what the situation is here at the ICM.
Look at those billboards are down. So some areas has already been closed because of some
Yeah.
damage. Even there's one glass over there that has been
Yeah, just
take
past that
off.
woman on the crossing. I looked at what you were pointing at, and fortunately she stayed out of the way. Crossings do not enjoy any recognition from what I've seen in the Philippines. So the last time, a few minutes ago, we stopped to let a woman cross. When it came to the other side, the opposing traffic, they weren't prepared to stop, just kept going. Whatever this man is doing. So there's all this traffic, and the gas stations, if you allow for the fact that many of them have been broken, and now they're stopping you from going in, so is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Says no entry.
Yeah, so it's okay. We just go we just find some restaurant on the way. Important is we will be out in the
Yeah,
city.
we need to be on the road.
Let's go, just continue on this
Well,
road.
I'll do it when I can move, honey.
I'm sure it's also a long line there.
I can't get out.
Nobody give way, right?
No, not a big way.
Follow this,
Oh,
follow this
no.
hand, yeah, follow that one. We'll find a carinderia on the somewhere in on our Tobigon.
We could have eaten at McDonald's.
Yeah, but then the part is the parking. It's so traffic. McDonald's in Tobigon is open, so we're okay. Just get some food and some crackers.
We just need some water right now,
Yeah.
Beth. Hello?
Yes, we will get
Yeah, we need water.
we will get some in the store. It's just so difficult to find some
We're
store.
going through how many stores? How many?
Hardware, that's hardware. Look at that hardware.
Not all of it.
Okay, second-hand clothes. Stop by.